Sentimental FX update for the quasidb service for the 14th of Jan. MR1 support for the US 500, S&P 500 at 3790.1. It could come into play and have some support. We had some pretty decent supports there, as you can see. As 4 times it held above. It did probe below and we wicked below, but we did come above. So potentially it can come sideways on MR1, and we have some support on the MA. And check your signal is actually to sell. So it's been very, very choppy this week, and we closed negatively on the signals because there wasn't really any clear decision from the smart money. The smart money were quite undecided what they were going to do with risk this week, and so as a result, the dumb money, the retail guys, were quite confused because of the smart money were confused. So it was a very tricky week this week. We could potentially have some kind of confluence here, just some lines that I just quickly drew. But the signal is to sell, and MACD is down, and the moving average on average is down. So see the moving average trend. So potentially we'll come down and test that. We might break below. I'd imagine we'll definitely get the support at 3757. We'll have to wait and see. We're well overdue a little correction anyway. This sideways price action isn't very healthy. Look at gold, and monthly pivot is 1858, and the SLC above is 1867, which is pretty much under the same as yesterday. Yeah, about a couple of dollars difference from yesterday. 1865, 1867, just sideways. And likewise, the dynamic is sideways too. Moving average is to sell, and the sentiment is to sell, but it's not really falling, so it could just be fundamental forces at play. AJ 8102, AT49. You can see the dynamic, and you can see the moving average trend. So it's moving a lot. This is really going back and forth so much. MR1 is 8061, so it'd potentially be a good sell below. Have to look at S&P chart for risk. If that falls, it's going to hurt this pair, so it could be a good sell. Keep an eye on your risk. AU 7830, and got it slow. $76.31. It's a buy at the high level, and it's just mixed on the technicals. It's a sell. They're selling it, sorry. So with that action, it could bring it up price. So it's been a very choppy week. EA 156.45. Likewise, choppy on the technical. We are a sell. It's them guys going along, so we can come down. EU monthly pivot is 12150. We pretty much held on to the monthly pivot pretty keenly, so it's going to be an interesting level tomorrow. We are a buy at the high level, but if we look at the average line, it's them selling it. That action should bring price up. So keep an eye on 12220 and 12097. Pound USD 13722, 13606. Our pound crosses did very well. Had it not been for that, we would have had quite a lot of failures this week. But unfortunately, the pound did behave well. The pound bubble became a strong buy, and sterling appreciated this week, so that was good. Had we not have done all signals, we'd been down quite a lot. So next week will be interesting. Deliberating whether or not to do all signals or dollar and yen pairs like we did before. But if we're at the extremes of the dollar and the yen, then we could see some volatility for those pairs, especially for risk. It's about time the dollar bubble came down. Well, then if so, that means that the stocks can come down too. But I don't know if they're ready for it. The big fish. So they might just not be anticipating the crash that we should be getting if we look at the dollar bubble. So that's why we had a very choppy week this week. But at least the pound bubble did well. The SLC above is 137.27 and the one below is 136.10. We are a buy. It's quite a strong buy, and it's them selling. So then therefore it should come up. We get a risk off scenario and the dollar appreciates, then this will come down. So there's your ATR upper, there's your ATR lower. So we can come down to either one. If we get a risk off scenario, we'll come down here. And that's one of the reasons why our closest signals, we had a medium-sized loss, but it could have been quite a lot worse. NU 72.45, 71.40 is quite large, this one down here, and it coincides with the ATR lower. We are a buy, and it's them guys going long over time, so that should be bearish. So the dynamic is not agreeing with the static. So even though that says buy, they're actually going long, so that could be bearish. This is stronger than that, the dynamic shifting. I'm out of this trade now. Made some good pips. Got in 60 pips up here, so I'm just going to close for the week now. It's just been quite stressful, really, especially with the signals. 127.55, and one below is 125.74. We're a buy at the high level, but it's kind of close to 50-50 now. Some guys going long, so we should come down. Monthly pivot is 125.90, so that should come as a support. Check your moving average trend, and we'll see how we go. I might have taken profits too early, but 60 pips is fine. That's not bad. I had a good R. So pound yen 142.28, 141.50. It's them selling it, so we should potentially come up. But we'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. Dollar yen. There's your monthly pivot 103.62, SLC 104.40, SLC 103.48. Take these guys off, and it's then going long. The last 4 hours they went long, so it should come down, and we should cross below monthly pivot because of this action. But we do need it to cross 50%. No, we actually are above 50%. We're 63%. So if they do go long, it's just going to simply cement the bias already. So it's going to look quite bad if this actually carries on and continues. So while it's a sell at the high level, if they buy it up here, it's really going to come down. So keep an eye on 103.62, and we'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow for this pair. Dollar CAD 126.68 and 126.15. We are a sell. They went long, so we should come down, which is what happened. You see, it's actually come down, respected it. S1 is 126.27. It respected the MS1 in December quite well, and we had some nice healthy bounces on MS1 last month, so it could potentially happen again. Just have technical support, so keep an eye on 126.28. We had some support here. See that double bottom, and dollar Swiss, and this is still a big sell on FXCM, and so we really should come down to punish the guys that have been holding on for all this time. It's been ridiculous now. SLC above is 89.21 and SLC below is 88.40. Take these guys off, and might be sideways, just choppy sideways. I mean, they've gone long here, so it should come down, and we need to get this flushed because it's ridiculous now. It's been 2 or 3 months. It's been a sell, so how long they can hold on, I don't know, but it does need to be like a situation when they get flushed out. If it does go up, it just encourages them to hold on. If it comes down, then they'll get flushed out, and then we can actually properly rally. So it's been a tricky week, and Yeah, the signals were quite poor this week, but we did have a lot of chop on the dollar and the yen. So we're any luck next week. We'll have some semblance of normality for those two, and it'll be okay. And assuming next week's horrible for risk, we can reintroduce the ball signals potentially, and we'll see how we go. But we do need to have some sturdy confirmation from the smart money. If the smart money are going to be confused, then there's no hope for the dumb money. So our signals are going to be choppy. So I hope you have a good day and a good evening and a good weekend as well. So have a good one, and I'll speak to you guys later.